We like to start with a toast. You're training for the Olympics, so you're not going to have any of this bourbon. We
Yeah.
got you some water there. Cheers.
Cheers.
What are we toasting for Mr. Malinin right now? What's your cheers?
I don't know. I think just wishing good health, good recovery, and really just making sure everything will look good to and before the Olympics.
You didn't toast a gold medal.
That's not my priority a lot of the times. A lot of the times when I skate, I always do it just for the performance itself. And usually that comes with the side of getting that gold medal. So, of course, if I skate my best at the Olympics, I'm sure that gold medal is going to come right at me.
I'm a glass half full kind of guy. Always have been. What are you? Are you glass half full, glass half empty when it comes to the outlook on life?
I don't know. I would say honestly, glass half full. I think a lot of the times I always, try to find the positives in life, but also I like being picky, and I would say honestly, I'm a perfectionist myself. So I like to get very picky with stuff and just take my time, work on weaknesses specifically, whether that be from my skating or just in life. I really like to be as perfect as I can be. So that's, I guess, a personality of mine.
I could see you being a perfectionist, but in your defense, it would seem like you sort of kind of have to be in your line of work.
I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, now I've kind of realized after a few years that being perfect is almost impossible.
Yes.
So a lot of the times you have to find that balance where you can appreciate all the positives and all the good things you've done, but also having that mindset to, appreciate the negatives and really have that to, improve yourself on or use that to kind of leverage, your future.
We like to focus on the moments that have shaped people professionally and personally. So let's start with professionally for you. Is there a moment that you can look back on in your short life? I know you just turned 21, but is there a moment that you can look back on and say, you know what? That's when it clicked. That's when I developed this love of skating.
Yeah, I would say around maybe 13 years old was when I really fell in love with it and wanted to pursue this professionally. Before that, it was half the time I'd be spending my time at the rink because my parents would coach 24/7 and they'd have nowhere else to have me, go to a daycare or something like that. So a lot of times I'd just be there and, at some point I was curious about how I was skating like, and they put me on the ice a few times when I was like 3 or 4, just kind of for fun. And, I started skating at 7. At that time it was very recreational, very just for fun, not taking this seriously. Because both my parents, they didn't want me to skate.
Really?
Yes, they wanted me to, find a different passion because they knew how hard it was. They went through 2 Olympic cycles and they've spent all their lives just skating, and they know how much time, effort, and dedication it is. And they didn't want me to grow up in that same path. But I guess it turns out that here I am now.
Yeah. And I would assume that they're probably pretty happy and proud of how all of this is turning out.
I would assume so too. I'm sure they are. It's just, it's such an honor that my parents are also my coaches, so that they know how I feel 100% of the time, and they can support me, whether that be with my skating, how to, skate better, but also with my life in general, how to keep myself controlled and, not be chaos.
I love that their lack of childcare when you were a kid has led to this Olympic hopeful. The fact that they didn't get a babysitter or send you to daycare. Have you ever thought about what would have happened had you not grown up around the ice?
I don't know, honestly, but I think a lot of the times I always stick with this mindset that everything happens for a reason.
Yes.
And I really like living by it because it makes my life feel so much more meaningful, and it has like its own personality. So, a lot of the times I do kind of think, what if this, what if that? So, I don't know. If I wasn't at the rink, maybe I'd be like a gymnast or a soccer player.
Yeah. What was that first breakthrough moment on the ice? Do you remember it?
I would say it's kind of when I realized around 13 years old that I want to pursue this professionally.
So you decided at 13?
Yes. Before then, I was skating for fun. And, people have different versions of fun. But for me, it was like, oh, it's just, I want to see how it goes. And then sometimes I'd be like, oh, let's go to this competition to see how it is too. And then at 13, I started progressing really quickly, and I was really just absolutely demolishing everyone at that time. And, just it kind of hit me, and I realized if I'm this good without doing much practice, what would I look like putting in more hours, putting in more time, putting in more energy? And so from then on, I was like, okay, I talked to my parents and we came to an agreement that, okay, let's try to take this professionally and see what happens.
So you decided 13 you're gonna go pro, you're gonna start practicing more. And then in 2022, you did something that had not been done before. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do. That was when I landed the first quad axel that was ever performed in competition. People have tried it in practice, and one specifically, Yuzuru Hanyu, he tried it at the Beijing Olympics, but it wasn't a successful attempt. And honestly, I got inspired by him because he was such an idol for me as a figure skater. So he really inspired me to want to go for this element. And landing that element just meant so much for me and really kind of started this quad god legacy.
For folks who don't follow the sport, explain what you did in 2022.
I give this analogy, and I told you earlier that just imagine yourself stand up and try to jump and do one rotation. Some people might struggle with it, some people might not.
Okay.
But now you take that and you do 4.5 turns, which is how much a quad axel is. Now you put yourself onto shoes with knives, and then you do it in front of a crowd under pressure, and you have to make it look really effortless. But also, you're going in with so much speed, you're going so fast, and you have just 1/16 of an inch on your blade to figure out exactly how you have to do it, because one small mistake and that costs your element.
Oh, and you could also end up on your butt or
Yeah.
really hurting yourself.
Yeah, but that's honestly part of the sport. Is obviously you don't get better without not falling.
So when I've seen you do that, what I always think about is we see the perfected version of it. How long does it take to practice something like that before you really get good at it? When did you start jumping and spinning, perfecting these quads?
I mean, it all comes down to the skater. A lot of different skaters have different techniques and kind of different bodies that help them either adjust quicker or take longer to and get consistent with it. But for me personally, I found that took a few months after I started landing them to get comfortable and get consistent with it. But of course, it's not perfect. When you first land it, that doesn't necessarily mean it's unlocked.
Right.
Because usually what happens is you're full of adrenaline and you land it for the first time. But then you might not land it for another few months because you don't have that adrenaline going. So it's part of it is okay, now I actually have to learn what the muscle memory is like and how to do it on a normal energy.
But when you don't land it, don't you fall?
I mean, yes, basically.
So
There's different
you have to
falls.
fall a lot before you can become a quad god.
Yes, that's part of skating. That's part of, I think, any sport, honestly. You have to fail in order to progress and to keep going. And that's another thing I live by is, you can't get there. You might have talent, you might have maybe natural genetics that can help you in sports, but you really can't get to the top or to your peak or limit without putting in a lot of time, work, and dedication.
Do you remember that moment when you landed your first quad?
Yeah, I was 13 years old. That's when I landed it.
You landed and you think what?
I was like, wow, I've been working so long to this, and it just really took so much time to get there. Now that I finally did it, now I've unlocked this new kind of massive skills.
And then you're like, okay, I can do one. Maybe I could do two. Maybe I could do three. Maybe I could.
That's exactly how you do it. I mean, even for figure skating, you have 7 types of jumps. And usually when you land the first one, they're like, okay, let's work our way to the next one and really keep going until you land all of them. So that's the mindset that I had going when I landed my first quad, which was the quadruple Salchow. So then after that, it's like, okay, let's go to the toe loop and then the loop and then the flip and then Lutz and then finally historically the quad axel.
And recently you broke your own record.
Yeah.
How many did you do?
It's one thing to just be able to do 7 quads, not even in competition, just, being able to do the different types of jumps. But I did 7 jumps in one program.
Was that the plan going in?
It was.
Okay.
I've been training for it for a few years now. I had this idea of going what I called the perfect layout for a program. So that's why I had this passion to pursue it. And, it's not only about the athleticism, because you can land all those 7 quads, but you still have to make it look easy. You have to make it look effortless. And you also have the other component of figure skating, which is artistic. So you have to make it look really creative when you're going into them, and make everything fit with musically and with choreography. So it's not only just taking speed and jumping, but you also have to add movements and choreography and have a story with your performances.
There's a lot of layers to it.
There is.
There was some talk of you making the Olympics in 2022. You remember this?
Yeah.
When it didn't happen, were you disappointed in that moment, or?
To be honest, going into those national championships that year, which is where we get decided if we go to the Olympics or not, I didn't know how it would go because I was recovering from an injury, and going there was just to see how I feel coming back to competition. And, once I've skated that program there and everyone was hyping me up saying, oh, maybe he could go to the Olympics, it's so hopeful. And, everyone's talking around the world, even before I finished the long program, they were like, okay, maybe he's going to go to the Olympics. Maybe he's going to go Olympics. And I think maybe that got a little bit in my head after obviously finishing the program and getting 2nd overall, and then hearing the news that I won't go. I was kind of upset because I had so many people telling me that you're going to go. Like, there's no way you can't go.
Right.
And then have that happen. I was like, man.
Did you feel like you had disappointed people, or?
A little bit. I was definitely disappointed in myself because I had that high expectation of me after everyone was saying I could go. But I think my parents are also pretty devastated because kind of a similar reason. But honestly, the way I see it is now, if I have went to that Olympics, I think Milan would have been my last year competing.
Really?
Yeah.
So in that moment, when you found out you did make the team in 2022, you decided, okay, I'm going to double down, focus even more on getting to Milan.
Yeah. I mean, the best way to put it is what happened was I'm going to show them why they regretted that decision. And that's when I started going crazy with all the quad jumps, doing them in combinations, of course, landing that quad axel. And now that I'm looking forward to the Olympics, there's a future in quints.
You're already looking past the first one. I love it. So it sounds like you felt like you had something to prove to yourself and to people. That's pretty impressive for a 17-year-old, because that's how old you were at the time, right?
Yeah.
Now you're 21, going into Milan. Have you already visualized the program that you're going to give us, or no?
Yeah, I have definitely visualized it, and I definitely came up with a strategy going into this Olympic season, just in general, of how to slowly progress myself and my skating so that I don't feel burnt out going to the Olympics.
Okay.
And that's how I do a lot of the years, but this year was, of course, special, and I had to come up with an extra strategic plan just so I don't, again, burn myself out or have any unnecessary injuries that could happen.
How does one train for the Olympics? Walk me through a day.
I would say, honestly, every skater's different. They have their own training and plans. But for me, most important is, working on everything you're going to be doing at the Olympics. So that's, what jumps I'll be doing and what spins, what choreography, and just practicing those every single day for hours and hours on end. And especially with the program, since you have to collect everything together into one program, you only have one chance to make it. You have to skate those programs a lot of times per day, just so you can feel comfortable and consistent with it.
What about weights? What about stretching? What about diet? Anything out of the ordinary there? Or?
Honestly, for me, I don't do a lot of weight training because I think it breaks kind of the balance of figure skating, because a lot of what figure skating is, it's all about natural strength. So I think if you start using weights, I think that can throw off how you skate and jump. And I think it's better to focus on things more like calisthenics that focus on body workouts and body weight workouts.
Give me your work. What's the Ilia Malinin workout look like?
Well,
cardio?
I mean, all the cardio is done on the ice.
Okay.
A lot of what I do, working out, is done on the ice.
It sounds like you're keeping your workout routine secret. It sounds like you've got some sort of secret ritual that you know?
I mean, the only ritual is that I'm on the ice 24/7.
That's it. That's the workout.
That's the only thing, yeah.
I mean, this idea, by the way, that, both, as you mentioned, both your parents were Olympians and they came to this country. They have you, that you've got a younger sister who's also a skater. This idea that they're also your coach, both of your parents.
Yeah.
That's a lot of parenting. Are there ever
Not just parenting, a lot of parenting and coaching.
Right,
yeah.
right. Are there ever times when you're like, God, Mom, Dad, please stop? No?
Yeah. Yeah. I've had a lot of those moments. I mean, but honestly, I think a lot of families have had to deal with that.
No parents are coaching their Olympic hopeful children.
Well, no, I'm like saying just that in general, like you're going to get fed up with your parents at some point.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of a natural process, but I think in my case, it doesn't help that it's also, they're my parents and my coaches. So it's like a lot of people have asked me this question of how do you balance like your parenting like life and the coaching? And I was like, well, is there supposed to be a balance? Like my parents can coach me at home when I'm eating dinner, or we can talk about, family stuff at the rink. I don't see where there has to be specific like, boundaries, is because they're my parents and my coaches. So it makes sense that they can talk about whatever, whenever.
And you live with them too.
Yes.
So you are, in a given day, you're around your parents 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And you seem so normal and well adjusted. I don't know how you do it.
I don't know. I think I've noticed they probably give me my space when I need it.
Got it.
But also, they're pretty understanding parents, so I'm very grateful to have them. They understand me all the time. They know, for example, when I have a bad day or when I'm feeling bad, when I need space, but also when I need that comfort and support just so I can feel better. And it's the same as done on the ice.
Was there ever a moment during the course of your training over the last few years where you thought, maybe I should look at a new coach, or maybe I should go in a different direction with coaching?
I don't know. I think specifically a lot of the times when I was skating, I always would have either like a bad competition or bad practice, and I'd be like, why am I still skating? Like maybe there's something else that I'd be better at. But now looking at it, I think I regret every time that I thought that way, because obviously I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those bad days, if it wasn't for those bad competitions, because everything is learning experience. And especially, how do you expect to go to a competition and have a flawless program if you've never been to a competition? You have to get that experience competing and feel the environment. And the more times you do something, the more comfortable you get with it. Yeah. So that's kind of the logic you use in that situation.
You don't get to this good moment without all of those not so great moments.
Absolutely.
Have you thought about the moment when you're walking into that stadium wearing the red, white, and blue representing Team USA?
Yeah, honestly, I've been thinking about it every day now, and it's really on my mind. And one thing that gives me hope and motivation to, come to the rink every day and have this focused training mindset, just to, spend hours just perfecting everything I can and really just having the best shot of going to the Olympics and really just having the best skate I can.
All right, let's talk about stuff not related to figure skating here. What do you do when you're not on the ice? Like, what are your hobbies and passions and interests?
Well, how I say is it comes in a bunch of flavors.
Okay.
So it can go from painting to drawing to skateboarding, parkour, gymnastics, making music, reading books, writing stories. Honestly, anything. I'm sure I've done it once at least.
Yeah, you do a lot of different things. You seem like you're a bit of a Renaissance man. A lot of different interests. What about music? What do you listen to? Who do you listen to?
Honestly, I listen to any kind of music. I don't have a specific taste. I don't have a specific type. It can range from electronic music to metal music to pop, R&B,
Taylor
to
Swift?
lo-fi.
A lot of Taylor Swift?
No.
Hard no Taylor Swift. Okay, all right.
I lied. Some music I don't like.
Okay. Who else do we not listen to?
I don't know. I think that's it.
That's the only artist you don't listen to?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, all right. When you're like getting ready, when you're getting amped up for a competition, is that your electronic music? Is that the
A little bit, yeah. I think there's like different. For me, it all comes down to feeling.
Okay.
And I think a lot of it also has to do with skating. Is if you feel good on the ice, then there's the possibility it looks good. So the way I approach competition specifically is how I'm feeling that day. If I feel like I need something that's more upbeat and
Okay.
really gives me that kind of rhythm, then I can go with something electronic. But if it's something like, okay, I had a rough morning practice
Yeah.
and now I have to go compete, like I need something that's gonna like make me like mad and get on the ice and do everything, then I'll maybe go for like metal.
So you pick your music based on your mood to inspire yourself.
Yes,
Got
exactly.
it. Have you been working on like a playlist for the Olympics? Not
I
yet?
don't know. I think it'll kind of be similar. We'll have to see how I feel that day.
Okay. What's your pre-competition ritual? Like what do you do before you go out on the ice?
I mean, a lot of the times it's kind of more like some generic stuff, like warming up really well before I get on there, and then, feeling the ice out, whether that be at the practices or, we have a 6-minute warm up right before we compete. So that's a lot of the times where I get a feel for the ice, how I feel specifically in that moment, because you can be nervous, you can be not feeling well because of the pressure and energy
Yeah.
from the venue. So a lot of the times that's where I get a feeling of, okay, how am I feeling now and what do I need more before I compete? And a lot of those times I like to eat specifically a milk chocolate Hershey's bar before I compete.
Okay.
Like right before I step on the ice.
Right before.
Right before.
Milk chocolate Hershey's bar.
Yeah.
You're probably going to pick up a new sponsor, but okay. And
I'm hoping, please.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Just the chocolate bar.
Because it kind of helps me feel a little more full.
Uh-huh.
And that way I'm not so nervous.
Ah.
So it's kind of distracting my thought on being nervous as for, eating.
Yeah. This is a little section we call Craig's Curiosities. Right? I'm just going to ask you a couple questions. You can answer them quickly. Figure skater, past or present, that you admire the most?
Yuzuru Hanyu.
3 words you would use to describe yourself.
Fun, chaos, adrenaline junkie.
Chaos.
Chaos.
You don't seem chaotic out there on the ice. You seem very controlled. Where's this chaos? Is it like in here? Is it like inner chaos?
Inner chaos.
And up here?
Yeah.
It's a little madness up here.
Yeah.
The best ones are. Do you like the nickname Quad God?
Absolutely. I think it fits perfectly.
Your younger sister, does she take your skating advice or does she ignore it?
Honestly, I'd be happy to have her take my advice. I mean, I can't even get close to her without like, brother, get away from me. Let me skate. And I'm like, okay.
Does she not know that you are about to be an Olympian?
She knows, but she doesn't want to.
She doesn't really care.
No.
She does, but she's going to go. She'll be in Italy.
No.
She's not going to go.
No.
Is there?
I don't know. No. I mean, it's probably going to be only me and my dad who's going to go.
Okay. That'll help you focus.
Yeah. My mom she gets super nervous when I compete, and especially in Milan, that's going to be so much pressure for her. So she'll probably even just stay off the radar for a few days until I'm done skating.
She gets that worked up.
Yes. That happens to all the competition I go to. My mom won't watch in person. She won't watch over TV. She waits for my dad to give her the phone call that he's finished, and then he tells her what happened, and then after a few days, that's when she goes and watches it.
Well, I don't think she's going to be able to do that this time because most people are. I mean, unless she cuts herself off from society.
I'm sure she will.
for your Olympic competition, you don't think she's going to talk to anyone?
Moms always find a way.
That's true. All right, I've got 2 more questions here. Actually, 2 more sections. Let's talk about the redo. Any moments where you felt like, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with this skating.
Yeah, this has been closer to around 10 years old when, of course, it wasn't like I was so invested in the sport professionally, but it was also like, why am I wasting time? It's like, I'm not doing this professionally, and I had a few bad competitions in a row, and I was like, why am I skating, Like, I'm not even doing this professionally. Like, I should spend my time, finding something else to do. But, of course, I decided not to and kept going with it because I got a lot of encouragement from my parents saying, you're just starting to compete, and obviously, you have to find your way around the rink, the venue, the environment, and that's kind of how it got to this point here. But also, another point I want to relive is that 2022 moment. I really want to relive that, and I still don't necessarily understand why they chose that, so I would like to go just almost like a spectator.
Yeah.
Like, you notice, like, if you were to travel back in time, like you can't fidget with anything because it kind of changes the present or the future.
Right. You can't alter the time.
Yeah. So I feel like if there was a way I can go just to kind of view it from an outside like being, then I think that's how I want to kind of see why was the reason they didn't send me.
That moment still bothers you, but it also fuels you.
Yes.
That's a good thing. What's one moment that you're still chasing?
I'm still chasing to get my ultimate goal.
Which is?
And my ultimate goal is to not only be successful in my part of, skating, but also bring back the glory days of figure skating. That was, a few decades ago where every single venue was sold out. Every channel was broadcasting live, and it was just so much fun, and people were enjoying the sport. And now it's gotten on the lower, but I see that it's starting to rise, and I'm hoping that with the next decades that I'll be still skating, I'm planning to bring that all back.
So it sounds like you want to be remembered as not just the quad god, but the quad god who helped revive men's figure skating in America.
Just figure skating in general. It doesn't have to be men's figure skating.
Okay.
Just all of figure skating.
All of figure skating.
Everything back.
That's a lot of pressure you're putting on yourself.
Yes, but like I always like to go with the flow, and I'm ready to pick the fight.
21 years old.
Yes.
Then do we have like a personal life? Do we find time to go and hang out and do normal 21-year-old stuff?
I mean, sleep and video games is basically all I need, so I get that done when I'm not skating easily.
You're a gamer.
Yes, I am.
What do you play?
Honestly, I had my birthday last week, so I bought myself a computer, like a gaming computer.
Okay.
So now I'm going to be playing a lot of different games. Because before I was kind of just a solo game, like Minecraft or maybe Fortnite a little bit, but now I'm ready to try all of the games.
Any Madden? Any?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe some sports games.
All right.
Maybe they can make a figure skating game.
If they did, I guarantee you I know who would be on the cover.
Absolutely.
The quad god.
Yes, sir.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to Milan.
Cheers.
Cheers to success.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.